Hey folks, Quill18 here. It is July 11th. It is the start of the Steam Summer Getaway Sale, and I'm here to tell you exactly how to work the sale to get your maximum discount and also what to buy and what to avoid. First of all, there will be some games that are on sale the entire time, from July 11th to July 22nd. Generally speaking, you don't want to buy a game that is just on that sort of normal sale. You want to wait until it shows up at a daily deal, because what might happen is you'll find a game, it'll be 25% off, you'll buy it, and then the next day it'll show up as a daily deal, or as a flash sale, or as a community choice pick, and it'll be like 50% or 75% off. So you really want to avoid buying something unless it's one of these specials. Now, if it reaches the last day, if you're on July 22nd, and your game has not come on sale on one of these daily deals, then go ahead and just pick it up at that point, because you've got nothing to lose anymore. So that is the general strategy. Now the daily deals they'll be highlighted here for 24 hours, but based on how the last few sales have gone, after this they will probably get moved into a sort of like a last chance kind of category where they're going to be available for another 24 hours or so. So effectively, probably you have 2 days to pick these, but again, I can't guarantee that on the first day, so if you want one of these, you might want to just jump on them immediately. Then we've got flash sales. They last a very, very little amount of time, and so I'm not even going to talk about what to buy or what to avoid down here, because they're going to be so short that by the time you watch these videos, they're going to be gone. However, Dragon Age, Dragon Age, Dragon Age. Finally, there's the community's choice, where you can vote to say which game should be on sale next in this little box here. I voted for Borderlands 2, because I already have it, but I think more people should have it, so I'm going to vote for Borderlands 2, and then it'll come on a decent discount there. So the big things we're going to look at actually are just going to be the daily deals, so let's get started. First one right at the top is BioShock Infinite. Now this is a big AAA title, got lots of press. It's known to have an excellent story. It is a shooter with RPG elements and puzzle elements, and again, a fantastic story. Now apparently the campaign is relatively short, so be warned that for your $30, well, that's USD, of course, depending on where you are in the world, you're going to get a different value, and in some places you're going to get totally screwed, mostly Australia. But 50% off. So if you want BioShock Infinite 50% off, but still relatively a fair amount of money, just be warned that the campaign is a little bit on the short side. That being said, it's supposed to be excellent, so there you have it. Next, going down the list here, we've got Defiance. Defiance is really cool. Defiance is actually an MMO, third-person action RPG shooter. It's a shooter MMO. But what's neat about it is it doesn't have subscription. Well, at least the last time I checked. God, I hope I'm not wrong about that. So it's a flat fee to start playing it, and at 66% off, it's actually really, really inexpensive. And while I haven't played it myself, apparently the shooting, the action aspects, is actually done very, very well. Now, obviously, there will be MMO mechanics, and that means quests and maybe a little bit of grinding, but frankly, I kind of like that, so I'd be okay with that. So if you like those sorts of mechanics, you may very well want to check out Defiance. It's actually tied into a TV show. There's a TV show, Defiance, and it's sort of, I don't know, the two bits sort of mesh together somehow. Next, we've got Call of Juarez, which is a first-person shooter that is set in the Wild Wild West, and it's actually really inexpensive. Now, this didn't make a huge splash when it came out, but it's actually not too bad if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you like shooters, if you like westerns, you can check it out. It wouldn't be a terrible purchase. Don't Starve is a survival game with a really quirky sort of sense of humor and art style. And it is. I mean, Don't Starve, well, it's a survival game. Now, there's some combat mechanics in it. It's maybe you can consider it a bit kind of roguelike-y, that sort of thing. Like, it's not really a roguelike, but it puts you in the right kind of frame of mind for what we're talking about. But the biggest thing is the survival thing. Don't starve. Make sure you've got food. Make sure you've got light. Make sure you've got heat. And this is actually one that I'm probably going to pick up in the sale, because I think it's got a lot of potential to play with. Scribblenauts is awesome. So this is Scribblenauts Unlimited, but Scribblenauts in general is a game. It's a puzzle game, and you solve the puzzles by basically writing in whatever you want. You can summon whatever you want to help solve a puzzle. So it's, imagine it's, kind of a side-scroller platforming game, right? You're there, you're walking around, you got to get some star that's somewhere. And to do it, you can do whatever you want. You can summon a boat, or summon some dynamite, or summon God, or Cthulhu, or whatever you can imagine is almost certainly in this game. It is really freaky how many things are in this game. And so the fun of trying to solve this puzzle is trying to think of completely unique and out there ways to solve various puzzles. You can actually play the same puzzle more than once, and and you get rewarded for solving it using completely different tools. Scribblenauts Unlimited, specifically being on Steam, uses the Steam Workshop so people can create their own items. So between the brilliant developers and players who have an imagination that is absolutely nutty, there's pretty much everything in this game. So it is pretty cool, definitely worth checking out. And also, while this will work with gamers, I mean, gamers like all games, right? This is also a game that should be very, very accessible to people who are not your typical gamers. Think about your parents, your significant others, your kids. They will all love this game, and maybe it's something that you can play together and, you know, make a new gamer out of it. Over here, we've got Tokitori 2 Plus. This is, this brands itself as kind of a Metroidvania game, and what does that mean? Well, that's like kind of how Rogue Legacy works, that sort of thing. It's basically a platformer with combat elements and maybe some puzzle and sort of, you know, that sort of stuff all put together. And it is pretty good. Now, this is the second one, and it's not deeply discounted at 34%. If you're not sure if you're interested in this, you can find, and I'm not clicking on any of these. I would actually like to do some research, but Steam is going really slow right now. If you try to load Steam, there's at least a 50-50 chance that you're going to get a blank page. Don't worry, just refresh or come back in like an hour or two. It'll be much more calmed down and everything will work fine. But if you want, check out the original. It's basically going to be the same thing. And it's much cheaper. I think it's like 99 cents. It's like 80% off or something, even though it's not highlighted on this page. Very deeply discounted game. Very definitely worth checking out. Endless Space. If you check the description box down below, I will have a link to my Endless Space playlist. It has a preview of the alpha and then another short session of gameplay from the released version. Spoiler though, I do very poorly at it because I just didn't have a lot of time to play it. It is a 4X game. That is a space-based sort of strategy empire-building game, and it has gotten a lot of love since release. It wasn't necessarily the greatest game at the time, but it's really come a long way, and it also has just been an expansion or a DLC has just been released for it, which again has apparently really improved the game considerably. So check that out. Now the DLC itself is not deeply discounted, but if you don't own the game already, I believe there's a gold version available that includes the DLC, and it should be 66% off. So go and check that out. It should be a pretty good purchase. Left 4 Dead is an awesome game. It is a 4-player co-op first-person shooter versus zombies. It is brilliant. It's fun. If you've never played it, I definitely recommend it. It's awesome. And you can get a 4-pack for this game. I think you can get a 4-pack for... actually, I think you can get a 4-pack for Defiance as well as another example. It is exceptional with friends. If you can play this with friends, it's amazing. If you've got 4 friends, great. If you've got 8 friends, you can play this versus mode where half of your people play zombies and half of you play the survivors, and it is brilliant. Now, you can also play it online against random people, but I've not always gotten the greatest experience just being paired up with random people, especially in the versus mode. People play that like really competitively, and I mean, I'm not very good at first-person shooters, so I'm going to be at a disadvantage there anyway, but people can be really cranky and really brr. In fact, I much prefer playing just with bots, and that's the thing. You can play it offline, like single-player mode, if you like, but if you've got friends, oh, seriously, so good. And the 4-pack will save you. I think the 4-pack will be, well, USD, it'll be $15, so basically you get 1 free. 4 for the price of 3. Finally, we have Antichamber here. Wow, this is a mind-bending, mind-blowing puzzle type game. I mean, think Portal to the extreme in terms of like the physics. None of the geometry of the world makes any sense. It is just broken, and I have not done a Let's Play for this game because, I mean, it's a puzzle game, right? So it's going to be kind of spoilery, this or that, but the game's been out long enough, and now it's on sale. Listen, here's what you should do. You can pick up the game. I will pick it up as well. At some point in the future, I will Let's Play this game, and you can all laugh at how badly I do and all the things I miss and how, like, just how broken I will be. Maybe I'll do a Let's Drunk. I don't know. But Antichamber, brilliant puzzle game. And finally, and while I have to put a caveat of this is a very violent game, and it's not, it's not for kids. It's not for anyone who can't handle violence. This, though, is my pick for the day. First of all, it's dirt cheap. It's already a cheap game. It's 75% off. What the hell is Hotline Miami? Who the hell is this pig guy? This is a top-down shooter with a crazy messed up story, weird, awesome, beautiful aesthetics, brilliant soundtrack and sound editing, and just the gameplay is fantastically tight. It plays like a top-down shooter, but at the same time, it's very kind of puzzly and weird and tactics, and it's really hard to describe just like that. But I swear to God, this is the game to pick up today. At $2.50 USD. And, you know, I'm sorry, you know, wherever you are, you might get screwed on, you know, euros or Australian dollars or something, and that really sucks. But man, oh man, is this a fantastic game, and this is definitely my top suggestion, I think. Antichamber, I think, is probably up there, although not everyone's into puzzlers. Same thing with Scribblenauts. You know, again, not everyone's into puzzlers. Left 4 Dead, yeah, although at this point, if you haven't bought it, I don't know, that's weird. So a lot of fairly good picks. And again, I'm not going to really talk about anything down here because it's going to be gone by the time you see it, Dragon Age. But yeah, if Dragon Age comes on sale again, then you probably want to pick that up. So we will try to make some more of these videos. Yeah, I can't guarantee that I'm going to do one of these every day, but I'm going to try to do them as often as I can. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.